it's a nice strong one where it's bolted to the ground, that's all. And the section stood up. It's all quite easy to do. Common sense is the main ingredient of these towers. It slips over the bolts nicely, and you then put your spring washers and your nuts on those threaded rods and tighten them down. We won't go through the full bolting procedure, of course. The beauty of stop action photography, we can go from one thing to another quite easily here. Okay, it's bolted down, it's in position. Goes through a hole at the top of the slide carriage. You can wind it up into position so that you're not bending over and now you must put the second and subsequent sections up with the slide rails facing towards the tower so that it's easy for you at half a metre off the ground. Then you can put a piece of timber or something through on top of that band and lower the tower section back down so that it just sits on that piece of timber or steel, whichever you decide. Then you loosen off the cheek plate. Here we go. A couple of fingers and it rotates around quite easily. It's so simple to do. And again, I do apologise for the tower. The pulley, of course, is transferred to the top of each section as you bolt it on, and then you have the wire in position for the next section. Okay, we've even run a little bit of coax up there for the 2 metre whip to go on top of the tower. And here we go. It's time to put an antenna up. If you know of an easier way to put an antenna up, please tell me, because I haven't seen one yet. That's a 4-element delta loop for 28 megahertz. The last section of the tower, as you can see graphically demonstrated here, is simply a piece of pipe. It's very little wind loading in itself. The tower proper, the lattice work section of the tower, on this 15 metre installation is only 12.5 metres high. So we have only 12.5 metres of wind loading to take into consideration when we're looking at the specs for the tower. The last section there just doesn't really rate any problem wind loading at all. But it's the idea of this tower, behind this tower, is to be able to bring your antenna down to a good position near the ground if the weather does turn dirty. You can see here just how easily it's sliding the antenna up there. It's so smooth and no problem at all. Makes it a joy to work on your antennas, adjusting, installing, doing whatever you want to do, an experimenter's dream. And there we have it, the boom of the antenna is at 15 metres, and we can call CQ. And there you can see it quite clearly demonstrated there. Okay, that's about all that I can tell you about the one-man tower. I wish you luck if you're going to build one, and I wish you a lot of safety and a lot more happiness in your hobby.